Ladies and gentlemen, and we here. What is going on in the bottom of the league this year? The bottom of the league is really, really bad. Why? Well, lucky for y'all, I'm here to try to answer that question. I want to start out east because I'm going to talk about the West in a later video because I have a lot to get off my chest about the Dallas Mavericks. A lot. So, the East. The three worst teams are the Nets, the Pacers, and the Wizards. They have a combined 6 wins and 42 losses. So what's going on? Well, let's start with the team that bothers me the least, and that's the Indiana Pacers. As we all know, they lost Tyrese Halliburton in Game 7 last year. And it's gonna be so hard for any team to play the next season without their star player. We're seeing it with the Celtics, and without Jason Tatum. They're not the best, but Jaylen Brown's doing the best that he can. But the Pacers don't have that solidified. I mean, they have Siakam, but they don't have the second guy to the level of Jaylen Brown. Especially them with Haley's superpower being he is an on-court genius, and we see him raise the level of everybody around him when he's playing. And it's like I said, it's a tough blow. But it's not just Halliburton, the injuries they're dealing with. Andrew Nimhard has missed 7 games. Benedict Mathurin's missed 11. Aaron Nesmith has missed 5 and counting, and it looks like he's going to miss up to a month. TJ McConnell missed the first 10 games of the season. It's really hard to get a flow and to win games when you don't have your roster. I mean, the only person who's played a bunch is Siakam, but he's playing with people he doesn't normally play with because everyone's missing. So you can't really win games or get in a flow when you're having to deal with all of this. So I don't want to use the word gap year, but it pretty much is for this team just because of the amount of injuries. So I think they're going to be fine next year. They don't worry me. I see this as probably a 3 out of 10 on the worry me scale. A little bit higher on that scale, though, is definitely the Wizards. They have 1 win on the season. Why? Why are they so bad? I could get I could get into the stats. They have the second youngest roster. They have the worst defense by rating in the league. They have the 27th offense by rating. But every other stat, they're kind of in the middle of the pack. Steals, blocks, most advanced statistics, they're in about the middle of the pack. So what's going on? Well, they don't have a single 20 per game score. Alex Sarr's sitting at 18.1. But past that, I want to talk more about the actual culture of the team. They're not having fun. You can watch the team and see that they are not enjoying themselves. And the problem is, honestly, the problem is the head coach. Brian Keefe is not the coach of the future. And there's a few reasons I say this, but I want to start with the other day he had a post-game presser where he shared a sentiment about when the team deals with adversity and they get punched in the mouth, they can't handle it. It's not that is not something you can say to the NBA and its reporters. The reporters love to twist and push a narrative. And if you're going to say something like this, you need to say it behind closed doors, and it's something you and the team need to figure out. With the roster being so young, the team's extremely impressionable. And you not showing confidence in the team is gonna hurt. And it shows. I believe it was the game after that one. They had a players only meeting. There's been reports that he's lost the locker room. And from what I can remember, I don't think I've ever seen a players only meeting that has ended well for the head coach, after it's happened. And the reason you have these meetings is because, like I said, he's lost the locker room. It doesn't seem like he has any faith in the team. And it shows. Like I said, they're not having fun. You can't win games when you're not having fun as a team. And especially when your head coach has a total record of 27 and 109. That's really bad. So, he's not the coach of the future, but it is up to Will Dawkins if he is going to want to fire him now or wait too late. Because it was me, I would get rid of him now. You have to find somebody soon who can build a true winning culture, especially because that head coaching position would have such high value. They are a team who, in the offseason, they're going to lose C.J. McCollum and Chris Middleton. Those are the two biggest cap hits of their roster right now. They're only going to have $67 million on the books next season. And they have the best odds to have the first overall pick. This class is so unbelievably talented that it would be such a hot job for any head coach. You could truly find someone who wants to build this team. It's not Brian Keefe, I can tell you that much. So, it's his, he just sucks. I'm just gonna be honest. He is the problem. So, yeah. I got a little. Anyway, the team that bothered me the most, though, is by far... The Wizards, the roster itself, on a worry me scale, is like a 2 out of 10. Brian Keefe's like an 8. I don't like him. Anyway. The Nets, though, they are terrible. They have the youngest roster. It's really held down a lot because Jaeger Dimmon's like 18 or something. But this team just sucks. They can't rebound. They're dead last in rebounds. They can't make shots. They're 27th in field goal percentage. They have the third worst pace in basketball. And I think this is an interesting stat because if you watch them on offense, they waste so much of the shot clock doing nothing. They take forever to get in their sets. They just stand there, dribble. Players are dormant. They don't move. So it's rushed. They have this feeling of having to rush or force shots. And you see it. They shoot 40.4 3-pointers a game, which is 7th in the league. And that feeling of being rushed results in their 33.8 3-point percentage, which is 24th in the league. At what point does it become a problem? Shooting so many threes, when does it become a detriment to a bad team? Because they're not making them. They're not winning games. So when does this become... It's a problem now, but when will the roster see it? They have taken 692 pointers this season to 647 threes. That's insane. Stop shooting. You're not making them. But it's not going to matter. I could say this. They're not going to believe me. But because they have Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Thomas, two players who have this stigma around them that they're ball hogs, which is becoming true. Michael Porter Jr. is shooting 18.2 shots a game, and Cam Thomas is sitting at 16.5. The assist numbers look really bad. MPJ's at 3.2 and Cam Thomas is at 2.6. This is not a winning recipe. And yes, Cam Thomas' contract expires. But this worries me because the younger players aren't getting the burn that they should when you have two players who just don't pass the ball at all. They just do what they want. And it's a problem to the younger players. Especially because they don't play defense either. They have a defensive rating of 122.8. For anybody who doesn't know what defensive rating is, it is how many points you give up per 100 possessions. That means the Nets allow 122.8 points per 100 possessions. The league average is 117. And they also don't rebound the ball. They're dead last in defensive rebounds. Opposing teams shoot 50.3% against them. They don't play defense. And if you watch them, they leave, everyone just is wide open. For some reason, they'll be, one possession, they'll be triple teamed on this guy. So the corner's wide open. Why? They're not communicating. Nobody on this team cares about defense. Your two best players could care less about defense. They just want to shoot the ball. The best way to get the ball back is to let the other team shoot. Waste as little time as possible. You can't win a game when you can't make a shot and you can't play defense. It's a serious problem. Anyway, they suck. They don't have the injury cop-out that the Pacers have. And they have, I guess, the young thing that the Wizards do. But again, it's Jaeger Dimon being 18. What is bright about this team's future? Honestly, I'm not sure. And it's not a gap year because they don't see it that way. They're just really, really bad. I think they're the worst team in hoops. This does go against my video I posted a while ago talking about the Nets are, one of the most exciting teams to watch. And they are if you are a fan of just pure hoops. But if you are looking into the future and the analytics, this team is horrible. So I'm honestly not sure how you fix it. So, as always, thank y'all for watching. And at the end of the day, just remember, I'm just a guy with a microphone and an opinion. Peace out.